Title: My manager called me to a meeting with HR. Kira, after 15 years, we're restructuring your position, she announced smugly. Clean out your desk by Friday. I smiled politely and said, completely understand. Start? They called me in at 9 sharp. My manager's grin was already waiting for me, brittle and rehearsed. HR sat beside her, fingers folded like a prayer. Kira, after 15 years, we're restructuring your position, she said, savoring every syllable. Her smile was sugar, her eyes were poison. Clean out your desk by Friday. I let the silence hang. Then I smiled back, just as politely. Completely understand. They thought I had lost, but Monday would be fun. 15 years. That was more than half my career, more hours in that building than in my own home. I gave them loyalty, late nights, solutions they paraded as their own. I watched my manager rise on the strength of my work. She called me her right hand. She confided in me, leaned on me. I defended her when others whispered she was cruel. I believed we were a team. I was wrong. The first crack appeared last spring. A contract I had negotiated disappeared from my files, reappeared under her name. Then a presentation I built in silence, weekends sacrificed, eyes burning, was delivered word for word from her lips. I applauded from the second row, while she nodded like a queen accepting tribute. I wanted to believe it was coincidence, but coincidences don't repeat. By autumn, the signs were clear. The missing emails, the sudden coldness, the promotions she received, the way she redirected credit with a smile sharp enough to cut. And then, the dagger. A slip of paper left in the copier, a draft of her email to HR. Restructure Kira's role. Make sure her replacement is younger, more adaptable. Spin it as cost-cutting. I held that paper between my fingers like a death notice. The pain was sharp but short, because pain became planning. They thought I was blind. They thought I was soft. But I had been keeping records. Every email, every version of every file, every message she'd forwarded from me to herself with my name stripped away. I kept backups in places they'd never think to look. Encrypted drives, cloud accounts under different names. I dug deeper. Finance systems left trails when someone diverted bonus funds. HR files whispered about favoritism, backroom deals, violations swept under rugs. I didn't just want revenge. I wanted precision. By December, I had assembled a dossier so detailed it could choke a lawyer. I timed everything with care, waiting for the quarter-end board meeting when scrutiny was highest and reputations most fragile. The night before my termination, I pressed send. Not to my manager, not to HR, to the board of directors, to the auditors, to the press. I slept well. Monday morning, the office buzzed with tension before I even arrived. People hunched over phones, whispers darting like shadows. I walked in slowly, savoring every step. My manager's door was closed, blinds drawn. HR was inside with her, voices raised, muffled but sharp. When she finally emerged, her face was pale, lips trembling under a forced smile. She looked at me, tried to summon her usual superiority, but her eyes betrayed her. They were full of fear. I sat at my desk, calm as water, while notifications chimed. Colleagues' eyes flicked between me and her. Rumors traveled faster than fire. By noon, the board had arrived unannounced. By 1, she was summoned upstairs. She didn't return. The climax came at 3 o'clock. A meeting was called. Everyone gathered in the glass-walled conference room, the air thick with curiosity. The board chair spoke with the precision of a guillotine. "We have discovered significant misconduct." His eyes swept the room, landing on her empty seat. "Effective immediately, management changes will occur." Gasps, whispers. My manager's allies stared down at their laps. "And Kira," he continued, turning to me, "we want to thank you for your integrity and long-standing contributions. Effective today, you will be assuming interim leadership of the department while we reorganize." The silence that followed was electric. I nodded once. Understood. No celebration, no gloating, just the steady pulse of victory. Her downfall was quick. By Friday, her name was stripped from the website. By the next week, whispers of legal action swirled. I didn't care about the details. That was her storm to weather. Colleagues approached me cautiously, offering congratulations laced with apology. I accepted both with the same measured smile. Inside, I was calm, colder than they could imagine. Because it was never about climbing higher, it was about balance, about justice. She had stolen years of my work, dismissed my loyalty as weakness, treated me as disposable. Now, she was the one disposed of. I sometimes replay that Friday meeting in my head, the moment she told me to clean out my desk. I see her smug smile, hear her rehearsed condescension, and then I remember her face on Monday, drained of color, shaking under the weight of her own sins, exposed at last. That is the image I keep. That is my closure. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't slam doors. I smiled. I planned. I executed. And when the knife turned, it was silent, clean, undeniable. After 15 years, they tried to erase me. Instead, I erased her.